You know, last night we began, and I said there are three things we'll be looking at in the three sessions. He said, "O ye earth, hear the word of the Lord." And I said, for the earth to hear the word of the Lord must come to her. And so the first thing we considered yesterday are vessels that can bear the word of the Lord to the earth. And I said the second thing we'll be considering is the systems of this world. Because if you don't understand the systems of this world, you will not brace up for warfare. You will assume life should be lived casually, and you may become a casualty. And even if you are not, you may depart from this realm and realize on the day of your departure that the earth was not what you thought it was. You will realize that this platform called the earth was given to you as a place of investment in the world to come. And every activity that pedestals this realm is designed either to help you maximize that investment or to lose it. But unfortunately, it's on the day of your departure that you will realize there is another world and another realm and another life apart from the one we are living here. So it's important to understand the systems of this world. And then I said, finally, we are going to be dealing with the issues that militate against our prosperity on this side of the divide in the evening service. Because there are factors that militates and impedes our advancement in this realm. The demonic and their effects, like sickness, like poverty, all of that fights against the quality of our existence. And that's what we'll be dealing with in the evening. But for this morning, I want to share with us very quickly the things that constitutes our life in this frame of reference. Because if we don't know it, we'll be disadvantaged. He said, "My people perish, not for the lack of power, not for the absence of the existence of God. My people perish for the lack of knowledge." Many walk into places and they assume it's a social gathering and their soul is bargained. They are never aware. I preach on campuses all around this nation. Many virgins with great destinies, they walk into campuses and in 3 months they are disflowered, and the fervor of their destiny vaporizes from their lives, and life becomes a struggle because they thought it was a university. They don't know it's a marketplace of spirits. Many go to the market for transactions. They don't know it's a marketplace of spirits, because spirits existed here before we came. We actually came into a pool of spirit beings. So what wisdom teaches you is the game of fraternity. You master how to fraternize with spirits and you rule in the affairs of life. This is why we must understand the structure of the cosmos. Please sit down. Please, sorry. Hey, yeah. Before anything ever existed, Elohim was. Because he's the one who was, who is, and who is to come. He dwelt in himself before time was created. You know, it's a reality that exists in a dimension that your mind cannot factor. So you just accept it by faith. That's why I said through faith we understand that the walls were framed by the word of God. There is an understanding and a syllable of education that exists in a realm that cannot be captured in articulate context. The only way you can interact with such dimensions is by articulating it in your spirit. And so we understood that before space, before eternity, and before time was created, Elohim existed in himself. You know, it took prophets that journeyed into realms eternal to come with these lexicons of truth. I was teaching them 2 days ago, and I said, John, after he traveled into before the beginning, you know, you can't tell the story of the beginning except to travel to before the beginning. For you to experience the beginning, you have to travel to before the beginning. That's the only time you will have the stature to give a narrative of the beginning. That's why it's your father that will tell you how you were born, because he existed before you were born. You can't tell your father how he was born. So John traveled to a dimension that existed before the beginning, and Paul also traveled there. It's one of the hallmarks of the apostles. That's why you are not an apostle until you have seen the Lord, because in him is the beginning. And he said God is light, and Paul came and said God dwells in light. So light dwells in light. That's how the beginning was. The realm that existed before the beginning is God dwelling in God. The realm that existed before the beginning is light dwelling in light. The realm that existed before the beginning is life living in life, where there is no death. Is the realm of Yahweh Elohim. And when he lived in that context for seasons that were apart from time, he spoke to himself, and he saw the need to bring another realm outside of himself. That was what made for the creation of eternity. That was what necessitated for the creation of time. That was what necessitated for the creation of spirits and of humans. And so when Moses journeyed into Horeb, the plains of Zion were open to him, and he began a narrative, and he said, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. We didn't know how God did it. Maybe God was in himself and he decided to come out of himself, and before he came out of himself, he created a realm that he could touch, maybe put his leg inside or put his hand, because it's impossible for anything to contain God, because even eternity can't contain him. Have you seen a child with a balloon? The child wants to play, and it blows the balloon, and it creates a space. Now, you know that space came from within the child, because that space is actually the air that the child blew. So the child can blow the balloon and tie it and begin to play with the balloon. That's how eternity is before God. It's like a balloon. So God plays with it. So when God wanted to have fun, you know, the 24 elders said, all things were created for thy pleasure. So the way a child inflates a balloon and plays with the balloon, that's how God created the heavens and the earth. So God plays with eternity like a balloon. So when God wants to relate with eternity, what he does is that he puts part of his dimension inside, because the balloon can't contain the child. So the throne of heaven is actually a place where once a while God sits and he stands up. When he stands up, he comes out of heaven. When he wants to relate with heaven, he now sits. So it's only the sitting position of God that heaven can see. Heaven have not seen his face, because you can't see him. When Ezekiel appeared before him, he said from his waist up was light, because God dwells in what? In light. So the face of God have not been seen in this realm. And the whole earth, the Bible said, is his footstool, not his feet, foot. Because if he wants to put the second one, the earth can't accommodate it. It's not talking about a leg per se. It's talking about a dimension. Because the leg of God is a dimension. The hand of God is a dimension. The face of God is a dimension. So he said, in the beginning, he created the heavens and the earth. And because he wanted to have fun, he now sat in himself and thought, what will I do to give me pleasure? That was when he began the architecture of the angelic realm. So he created some angels as beings of light. He created some angels as beings of wisdom. He created some angels as beings of power. He created some angels as beings of worship. All of this was designed to entertain God, because all things were created for his pleasure. And one of the angels that he created was a creature of sound, a being of worship, and his name is called Lucifer. And God gave him two assignments. The first assignment was the assignment of priesthood, and the second assignment was the assignment of rulership or kingship. He was to carry out priesthood in heaven and kingship on earth, because there was the first earth. And I will show you from scripture. The assignment of priesthood is actually the ability to minister to the presence of God. So when the presence of God shows up, the priest ministers to the presence. The priest is not primarily a man that comes to bless the people. The priest blesses the people, because when he ministers to the presence, he carries an overflow of that presence. It's that overflow that he pours on the people. So he becomes a conduit. In Exodus 28 verse 1 and 2, it says, separate unto me Aaron and his son, that they may minister unto me in the priestly office. So what Lucifer did was to be a priest in the realms of the Shamayim, the regions of the unseen, the heavenly dimension. He was the priest in Shamayim regions. And what he did was, to and fro, he moved in the midst of the coals of fire. And as he moved in the midst of the coals of fire, he provided sounds and vibrations. And those sounds that he emitted was what alarmed heaven to worship God. So he was a priest in the corridors of eternity. That's why in Ezekiel 28 from verse 13, it said, thy taps and thy tabrets were in thee from the day of thy creation. So the guy knew the sounds, you know. See the labor going on here to help us worship. You have keyboard, you have drum, you have speakers, you have bass guitar, you have amplifiers. All of these things were wired into Lucifer. So if heaven needs to worship, he can do like this. And he provides sounds, and everybody goes, holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy. That's the job of priesthood. He ministers to the presence. And on earth, he was the governor of the first earth. You can check that in Isaiah chapter 14 verse 16. I'm coming there. When he does the job of priesthood, he now comes to establish order on the earth, until iniquity was found in him. And the point came, he said, I'm trying to show you how the systems of this world were designed. So you will know why the devil can rule in different mountains of influence. He was on earth before we were created. Iniquity entered his heart. And I'm taking time to show you this, because the precedence of evil emanated from him, and anybody that takes that path will end like him. This is not an attempt to glorify an angel, because the one I'm talking about is not the devil. It was Lucifer, the angel of light. But it's not even a bit to exalt an angel. I'm showing you where men can get to and still fall. when they follow the same path of rebellion. So you can be the president, and that ascension becomes the reason for your fall. You can be a governor, that will be the reason for your fall. You can be upright serving God until the day you become a millionaire, and the millions become the reason for your fall. Does that mean God doesn't bless men? No, God blesses men, but the blessings of God is commensurate to the knowledge of God they have. I wish above all things that thou mightest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. If you have power beyond how much you know God, power will rule you. If you have money beyond how much you know God, money will rule you. Everything that is a blessing remains a blessing so long as you know God more than those things. The moment those things become more than the knowledge of God in your life, those things become your God, and it becomes corruption. So Lucifer ascended. He said that we ascend and be like the Most High, and he was cast from the mountains of God. But unfortunately, he was cast into the first earth, and the moment he hit the earth, you know, fire can be used to cook. Fire can be used to do a lot of good things. But when fire is out of order, it becomes a disaster. So the same fire that cooks your food, if it is out of order, it can burn your house. So when Lucifer stepped out of fire, God said, I will cause that fire in you to consume you. And when he hit the earth, something happened to the earth. He destroyed the structure of the earth. So from Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, the Bible said, and the earth was void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. What happened between Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and Genesis chapter 1 verse 2 is in Isaiah chapter 14. The earth was in perfect harmony under the government of God, but Lucifer wanted to alter that government. I will no longer be the governor of the earth. I want to be like the Most High, seated with him in heaven. And he was cast as profane from the mountain of God. And when he hit the earth became void. Government have been scattered. Government have been disrupted. It's like in a military regime when a coup fails. You know, for a while, the country will be in chaos. It will take time to restructure order. So the moment Lucifer fell, all the angels that were working with him, 1/3 of them, they followed him. So they distorted the earth. And the prophet Jeremiah, in Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 23, he was carried outside time and he saw what happened. And he said the earth was void. The earth was distorted because a coup has failed in heaven. And the impact was in the jurisdiction of the devil. And the jurisdiction of the devil was the earth. All of this happened before man was created. These were the things that happened before the first man was created. There was war in heaven, and the impact was on earth. The earth was in chaos. The earth was in disaster. But God needed another general on the earth. So God came to the earth again. But because the earth was in chaos, God could not work with the earth. So God downloaded Eden from heaven. Because Eden was also under the perfect order of God. And the only thing God could do now was to create another balloon. And he downloaded Eden from heaven. And he planted Eden on earth, and he put the man in Eden. So long as the man was in Eden and under the government of God, even though the earth was in chaos, it could not affect the man. And what God wanted the man to do was to cultivate the garden. Cultivate the garden does not mean plant and unplant and harvest. No, cultivate the garden simply means, because it says walk the garden. The word is ergon. Walk means become. So what God wanted the man to do was to keep worshiping and carrying out the same priesthood and kingship responsibility that the first Lucifer was carrying out. And as he continued, Eden will enlarge and Eden will subdue the earth. So God wanted a new earth to appear. Remember, at the end of all things, a new earth will appear. But that's what God wanted to do with Adam. Cultivate this garden. This is the new earth. This earth is supposed to dominate the old earth. Because I have set the structures, the light, the water have already been set, and the sun. You now allow Eden to dominate the earth. And Adam did not understand, because Adam was a man, but he was a child in his soul. He didn't have understanding. He was innocent. And the devil came and brought rebellion again. The same thing he did in heaven. I want to be like the Most High. And he told the man, if you eat this fruit, you will not die. God knows that you will become like him. He deceived the man into rebellion. And the moment the man allowed it, the same chaos that was in the old earth now entered the new earth. And the new earth became compromised. And the whole earth is in darkness. Have respect unto the covenant, for the habitations of the earth is a region of cruelty. Darkness had entered the earth again.